Hello folks, I'm Jim Pierce, one of your selectmen, and this is the first of a series of 5 short, and I hope very short, presentations under the title of Sandwich by the Numbers. I'm going to try and stick with the data and not offer any opinions. I will unfortunately probably slip up along the way and stick in an opinion here and there. Just be it known they're my opinions and they're not necessarily shared by any of the other selectmen. These presentations will also show up in written form in the Enterprise, and they will be posted on sandwichschoolnews.com with appropriate links to the data behind them. The first topic is the tax rate. And the first thing we want to understand is, where does the tax rate come from? It's really quite simple. It's the total tax levy, property tax levy, divided by the value of all the property that's taxable in the town of Sandwich. In this particular tax year, the levy is $46.8 million, and the tax base, the total of all the taxable property, is $3.67 billion. You divide one by the other, multiply by 1,000, and you get the tax rate, which is $12.74. Now, there's no way of getting around the fact that that is the highest tax rate of the 15 Cape towns, and I'm also going to include Wareham and Plymouth in some of the data later on. So with a number like that, there's only 2 ways to make the tax rate smaller. You either have to make the bottom number bigger, increase the tax base, or you have to make the top number smaller, decrease the amount of dollars you collect in the tax levy. So first, let's look at how much bigger would we have to make the tax base to accomplish a relatively modest reduction in the tax rate to say $1 to $11.74. Well, here's the formula. You cross out the $3.67 billion and make it $3.99 billion. And that means adding $332 million to the total value of all the taxable property in the town of Sandwich. And you achieve the $11.74. To put that in a little bit of perspective, the shovel is already in the ground on Forestdale Village, the development just past the mobile station out along Route 130. When that becomes reality, it will add about $50 million to the tax base. There's also an ambitious project on the books for South Sandwich Village Center. And when that comes to fruition, that will add $120 million to the tax base. The two together will add $170 million, and that's just enough to drop the tax rate by 50 cents. Now, I don't mean to minimize that 50 cents. That's very important. Economic development is essential to the future of the town of Sandwich. That 50 cents means, for me, the average taxpayer, a little over $150 decrease in my tax bill. So, and also, economic development brings jobs. It brings retail. It means no trips to Wareham or to Plymouth or to Hyannis or to Falmouth to buy some of the things we can't currently purchase in Sandwich. So don't lose sight of the fact that economic development is important, but it's not going to solve the tax rate problem. Now let's flip it over and look at the other side of the equation. How much do we have to decrease the tax levy to achieve that same $1 reduction in the tax rate? Again, cross out the 46.8, do the arithmetic, and it comes down to $43.1 million. That is a decrease of $3.7 million. Now, the average employee on the payroll of the town of Sandwich, with salary, benefits, and everything all rolled together, costs about $80,000. So you divide the $3.7 million by $80,000, and that's 46 employees. 46 employees. That, if you took them in proportion from the schools and the general government, that would be 31 from the schools and 15 from general government. Again, in proportions, that would mean 19 teachers, 12 support personnel in the school system, 4 firefighters, 3 police officers, 2 each from the library and the public works, et cetera, et cetera. And that's the numbers. I'm going to leave it right there. That's the end of part 1.